What is happening, guys? Welcome back to another video here at Wicked Garage. As you can see in front of me, we have a little grapple here. Well, it's not little, but came into an issue. They ended up bending the stiff arm and messing up the actual mount where the pin goes through, snapping the pin and all that stuff. Made the stiff arm a little while back, probably about 3-4 weeks ago, and then you can see right here they really messed it up. They tried to heat it up and bang it back straight, just pretty much messed this whole thing up. So we're actually gonna have to cut it off and make a new one. We're gonna cut this out and then bring it over to the lathe it back down, and then pretty much weld it in. But it's a pretty simple cut and dry kind of job, because we're only going to be replacing this ear. The other ear actually is straight and good. It got a new pin here, and the only other thing we have to do is we have to take a little bit and sort of hone out the inside of this, because this doesn't go in past where it needs to, because it goes in through this side, which ties to that side. So when we cut this off, pretty much we're gonna have this set in place where it needs to be after we cut the new ear for it, and then we'll set this in, get this so that it's good, tack it in place and everything, and make sure it slides in and out, and then pretty much fully weld it out and get this thing done and out of here. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure you hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Like and comment. Let's get into it. Alright guys, so we ran into a little bit of a problem. Let me see if I can get this spinning just a little bit. There we go. This thing is shot. There's no saving it. You can see how messed up this thing got. I thought maybe I can save it, but you can just see it. This entire piece actually bent and warped out, and you can see it split apart from this little collar right here. So it got jammed in there pretty dang good, and I don't think we're gonna even bother. Luckily the other side is snapped, so the only thing that messed it up was like the ridge right here. So I'm just gonna have to take the little grinder wheel and stone and just grind it so that the pin fits through nice and snug, and there's no like burrs or anything that'll bind it up. But other than that, let me turn this off. We had to go down, we had to get a new bushing. Unfortunately, not a lot of people make them. Not a lot of people even have stock this big or any type of bushing. I mean, you can get it online, but you're gonna wait probably 5 to 10 days because they have to machine it. Even if they have it in stock, it's gonna take a while for them to ship it. So, especially on the holidays, this is in between Christmas and New Year's. So I got lucky that we had a nice bucket supply around here, and that's the name of the company, Bucket Supply. So this is a 65 millimeter ID, and then it's a 120 OD, and I believe it's 80 millimeters wide, so it's like 3¼ wide. So I had to redesign this. Obviously, I just sort of made this bigger, and you can see there's only a little bit of a ridge there, but I did beef it up a little bit more. This is 3/4 plate, and I did the little notch that I pretty much followed on the back side. So I just went 1/8 inch. If I have to grind it a little bit or plasma cutter or something, that's fine, but this will be plenty, because most of the time this has a stiff bar, so the stiff bar is actually gonna be pushing down on this, and then most of the force is going to be with the bottom claw going up into that, so it's going to be pushing more than pulling. But once this is all welded together, you're not going to have to worry about anything. So over here on the actual grapple, we have to get this down to a flat surface again, which we're going to wash away and grind, and then we're going to go over here, hone this. Since it snapped, it messed this up just a tad bit, and then we're going to hone it out, make sure the pin fits through, make sure everything's straight. Everything seems straight on that side, but we won't know like how straight it is until we get this side on and sort of tacked on. So we're going to tack everything on before we do everything else. That way we can still reverse it rather than welding everything on and then having to cut it all off again. So camera died a little bit, so I threw it in on a charger a little bit, and now I'm back here. I got a lot more done. You can sort of see where we're at with the ear itself and the bushing. Everything fits. It's all in place, in line. The only thing we have to do is set up the welder, weld that piece on so that we can cut this to the right size. So you can see we're going to be cutting almost 1.5 inches off or so. So after we do that, then we can pretty much tack up what we need to and make sure everything is level, square, and works properly and is in proper spacing. Right now it's just mocked up, so it's not that big of a deal. We honed this out and got that so that the pin fits through nice and snug. There's still a little bit of movement, but that's the little bit of movement that you have on each side. So once it gets in there, the grease gets in there, it's going to tighten up and it'll work how it should. Cut out the little bushing. Now you can see I'm just lining everything up. There's a 5.5 inch gap that has to be between these two ears, and then there's a 4.5 inch gap that has to be between here, and then obviously we have a little bit of a gap before we hit the pin bolt. So just what I'm doing here is I'm essentially marking where the ear is going to sit and lining everything up, making sure everything's going to sit right, as well as the pin. What we're going to do is this has to be a 1/2 inch out, so we're going to mark a 1/2 inch, then we're going to put it in, and we're going to tack it in place, and then we'll pull the whole ear out and weld the bottom part on both sides and make sure everything is good. You know, just tack weld it first, tack weld it on here, and then we'll have it somewhat stiff on here, and then we can sort of move it around where we need to, and we can get the stiff arm and make sure the stiff arm all works together in conjunction to the ears. And then once that's all confirmed, then we can just go on our way and pretty much start welding everything out and finish this thing up. So as you've seen, I just tacked everything in place, mainly the bushing in 3 spots on the top, and then I just tacked the front and the back so I can pop this off real quick. But wanted to make sure the stiff arm fit in here, and as you can see, it does. So now that we know that that fits and everything, we're going to pretty much take off the ear, weld the bottom, and pretty much weld everything back on and get this done. Only thing that's left to do is we have to cut the little ring that goes around this and drill the hole out. So we'll do that. That shouldn't take too long, and then we'll weld everything out once it's all said and done. And with that, we are finished with this job. You see, we've completely replaced the ear, the bushing, as well as the little retainer ring that goes around. Welded that up, got everything good, and it is ready for its next job. I did do the stiff arm a while back, and then when I dropped it off, I noticed the ear was severely bent. It broke off. The pin broke on that side, which actually saved the other ear, and there was minimal damage on that side, so we were able to save everything. And now we just repaired this, and now it can go, like I said, back on the job. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you in the next video. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and you know, share, like, comment. I'll see you guys in the next video.